Hey everyone, welcome to the Alex Estrada podcast. I'm Alex Estrada, and my mom is with my dad. They're just, I believe, getting back from a birthday. And this is the podcast where I talk about all the things that I love: baseball, the show Big Brother, anime, professional wrestling, TV, movies, music, and all the other things that I love. Tonight, we're talking about the seventh of what, in my opinion, was a very underrated series: the 1982 World Series between the Brewers and the Cardinals. A very exciting series that had lead changes, comebacks, blowouts, great defensive plays. It had almost everything. Great players, too. Robin Yount, Paul Molitor, Ozzie Smith, Bruce Sutter, Ted Simmons. That's a nice cast.
Yes, it is.
Now let's talk about the backgrounds for both teams. First, let's start with the Brewers. In the strike interrupted previous year, the Brewers won the division in the second half of the season. Now let me explain. A player strike canceled over a month of baseball games. As a result, the season was split into two halves. The winners of each division.
A little bit.
What?
No, nothing. Hello?
I can hear. Can you hear me?
Just driving back. We can hear you. Pedrito and see if they wanted to fly.
What? I'm sorry?
You're fine.
Okay. So, as I was saying, about the player strike, it canceled over a month of MLB games in 81. As a result, the season was split into two halves. The winners of each division of both halves would face each other in a division series. The Brewers won the division in the second half to make the postseason for the first time, only to lose to the Yankees in the division series in 5 games. They stumble out of the gate in 82. Buck Rogers is fired, and the guy who replaces him, Tigers legend and Milwaukee native Harvey Kuenn. Harvey Kuenn had been the Brewers' hitting coach for over a decade and was already close with several of the players. His managerial philosophy was encouraging his players to relax, have fun, and go play. Kind of like Bob Lemon when he took over as Yankees manager in 78. That's what the Brewers team needed. True, Mom and Dad?
Yeah. Can you repeat that, Alex? Because I was driving, sorry.
Okay. Well,
what was the question?
Harvey Kuenn, and his manager philosophy was to encourage his players to relax, have fun, and go play. Kind of like Bob Lemon when he took over as Yankees manager in 78. That's what the Brewers team needed. True?
Yeah, I would say so, because that's why they were known as Harvey's Wallbangers.
That's right.
Very laid back, beer guzzling crew. Fit very well in with Milwaukee.
Yeah. Soon before you know it,
right?
Yep. And as Dad mentioned, soon before you know it, they became known as Harvey's Wallbangers. The Brewers led the league in runs scored per game, runs scored, at-bats, home runs, RBI, slugging percentage, on-base percentage, OPS, OPS plus, and total bases. Under Harvey Kuenn, the Brewers would go 72-43 after starting the year 23-24, and finish the year 95-67. In the ALCS against the Angels, they would come from behind a 2-0 deficit to win their first pennant ever. Now let's talk about the Cardinals. This is their first trip to the playoffs since they won the pennant in 68. Of course, they could have gone to the playoffs the previous year, but due to the midsummer strike, splitting the season into two halves and the Cardinals failing to win the division in both halves, they failed to make the playoffs despite having the best record in their division overall. The same thing happened with the Brewers as well. I mean, talk about a screw job. Cardinals manager Whitey Herzog called it the Bowie Kuhn sweepstakes, named after MLB Commissioner Bowie Kuhn. Herzog
was something.
I'm sorry?
Herzog was something.
Yeah. This year, there was no strike that could interfere with the Cardinals' playoff hopes. They were so different from the Brewers. The Brewers led the league in home runs with 216, while the Cardinals were last in the league in homers with only 67. The Cardinals built their team on clutch hitting, exceptional defense, solid pitching, and speed, especially speed. They may have been last in the league in homers, but they led the league in stolen bases with 200. They called it Whitey Ball, named after manager Whitey Herzog. They would go on to sweep the Braves in the NLCS. So this World Series was basically strength versus speed. Now let's take a look at how we got to Game 7.
They were fast, that Cardinals team.
They sure were. Game 1.
I don't hear it, son. The Milwaukee Brewers, and here they come out of the dugout en masse to congratulate Caldwell, who put on quite a performance. 10-0 Milwaukee over the St. Louis Cardinals in Game 1.
Game 2.
10-0.
Yeah, they won. The Brewers won behind Mike Caldwell. The Brewers won Game 1 10-0. Game 2. 'We'll get to that. Trust me, we'll get to those nicknames later on. Hang on. This is still Game 2. Base loaded walk gave the Cardinals the lead. This is still Game 2. What? That was Cecil Cooper. Oh, you mean for the base loaded walk? That was Steve Braun. Game 3.
Championship Series after Willie McGee was knocked down. He had a home run. His first. Fowler up tight at third in case McGee should try and drop a bunt down. Look out. Oh, that's two for McGee. Another homer. What a day that kid's having. Hit a fastball for the first home run. Looked like something off-speed pitch. He may have thrown a change-up slant. I thought I noticed after the first pitch way inside, he backed him off the plate. He didn't get quite up to the plate that time. Got the ball inside and just let him hit. This is good. Outfield left side with his back to the warning track. Well hit, way back. Listen to the reaction. Oh boy, what a catch he made, Willie McGee. Willie McGee with the bat and with the glove has been a one-man show tonight. The potential of McGee unlimited. We saw him go deep to the fence to Rottweiler. This ball is over the yellow line in the seats. Might have gotten the Brewers back into it. Look at him time that ball. Great leaping ability. That's like a basketball player going up for a rebound off the fast break. Actually, he's messed up. The Red Sox minor league pitching coach Mike Warren. This could be the ball game. McGee coming in. He makes the catch. That's that ends the ball game, and so Willie McGee, and it was the Willie McGee night as Ozzie Smith, Javier, youngster with 2 home runs, 1 3-run homer, a sensational catch to take a home run away from Gorman Thomas, and the final score, St. Louis 6-2 over Milwaukee.
Game 4.
High fly ball, center field. Thomas is going back. It'll score at least 1. I say 1 because Ozzie Smith can run. Gorman Thomas falls. They're going to try to score 2. Here comes the relay throw. It is not in time.
Who was at that
Well,
spot?
that's something. That wind just got
I'm sorry?
the warning track, and we have talked about the Cardinals' speed. They showed him game 2 on the
Gorman Thomas.
Smith gives another RBI.
Yeah, he wasn't known for his
Sacrifice
fielding.
fly. 2
He's a center
RBIs.
fielder.
Very unusual.
How was he a
Initial
center fielder?
Apparently in 82.
Back pedal. He fell right on his ass.
Yeah.
He was center field, Alex, or left?
Center field. He slipped and fell.
Seems as if some of them are trying to go up there and hit a 6-run home run. Up the middle, Smith gets double play. Oh my! Somehow
That was
fielded the
ridiculous.
ball,
I
held
know.
his eye in the bag, touched it with his right foot, and turned it into a double play. This man has tremendous. It's really the points ball, but for a foul, watch Smith coming here, picture. Hurts there, he steals it from him while his right foot is on the
Was that
bag.
Ozzy's son?
Off balance.
It
throw.
sure was.
Another rally. That's incredible. The magic of the Wizard of Oz. And Charlie Brewer came up limping after this. We're right now. We're on Ozzie Smith because he's so brilliant. He looked off the field. I don't know if he jammed his foot. He never. He came back 3 down against the Braves. Something like $5,700. He dropped it. Let's see how they call it. Davison had not indicated.
I think I heard someone say that Hernandez was saying to him, if that had been a cheeseburger, you would have caught it.
Well, that's Keith at first. That's right.
Yeah.
He got traded a year later, right, Alex?
That's correct. And we will get to that. I will mention that later on.
Base hit. Will take the lead. 1 on it. 2 runs are in. Simmons heading for third. Thomas for second. Safe.
Hey! Gorman Thomas to hit.
Yeah.
All of them. Just a boomer.
to Croatia and Ghana. That means England must have lost.
Kathy wants to know.
Hopefully now, put him on, load him up one more time. One ball. 2 strikes.
Game 5.
Well hit, right field.
So far, it's 2-2 Alex games.
Yes.
Top of the ninth. Left field, this could be it.
They won?
They went up 3-2. This was their last home game. 3 games to they're up 3 games to 2.
Yeah, the fans stormed the field thinking that they were going to win the World Series in St. Louis.
As expected here,
It was very embarrassing
as
for
the
the
Milwaukee
Brewers.
Brewers take a 1-game lead as we go back to St. Louis. Milwaukee.
Game 6.
How would security let them do that?
Because that,
That's
back,
fucking dumb.
back in those days, everybody rushed. Remember, up until '86, the same thing happened with the Mets. It was after '86 that they didn't allow that anymore because
Yeah.
they tore up stadiums.
Yeah. Game 6.
Ball, 1 strike, runner at second, and a high drive deep right. Porter will touch those off the top of the wall.
Oh, yeah, that guy's got to be done.
Home run.
You want to see those people off my hat.
Daryl Morgan.
Yeah.
High drive, deep right
What?
Is Keith Hernandez in the Cardinals Hall of Fame?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, wait.
This could be it. Listen to the roar.
Game 7.
Okay, now, so all of that is what brought us to Game 7. Now, let's take a look at the starting rotation, pitching matchup for Game 7. Hang on, I got it. How fitting is it that you have your aces on the mound for Game 7? Pete Vukovich for the Brewers and Joaquin Andujar for the Cardinals. The thing is, both pitchers are hurt in this game. Despite
I didn't know that.
Yeah, despite winning the Cy Young in '82, Vukovich had severe shoulder pain for 2 years, and the following spring he was diagnosed with a torn rotator cuff that would eventually end his career. Joaquin Andujar still hadn't fully recovered from the line drive he had taken to his kneecap in Game 3, so both aces are pitching hurt in this game. Now let's take a look at the starting lineups. Here's the Brewers starting lineup. It's quite an eye opener, isn't it? I mean, look at this lineup. I mean, you must be thinking, "Wow!" I mean, look at that. I mean,
They had a very strong hitting lineup that whole year.
they sure did.
Field 244. Corbin Thomas only hit 245.
Yeah, I mean, Paul Mauder.
All of them were power, though.
I never heard right how.
Paul Mauder at the top. Robin Yount was the MVP.
Yeah, those are 2 Hall of Famers, right?
Yeah.
Right there.
Cecil Cooper, Ted Simmons is a Hall of Famer. Ben Oglivie,
Yeah.
Goran Thomas, Roy Howell, Charlie Moore, Jim Gantner. And
They had 3 Hall of Famers.
yep, 3 of these players are Hall of Famers. Is this a strong lineup or what?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the Cardinals starting lineup. Now, Lonnie Smith, the runner-up for MVP, led the league in runs scored with 120. Ken Oberkfell, Keith Hernandez, George Hendrick, Darrell Porter, Dane Orge, Willie McGee, Tommy Herr, and Ozzie Smith at the bottom. Never mind the lineup, Ben Oglivie and Gorman Thomas combined had 6 more home runs than the entire Cardinals team combined.
Yeah, I was about to say that they had no power on that team.
Okay, now. Now, if you remember from the podcast where we talked about Game 5 of the 1980 World Series, there was a temporary MLB policy from 76 to 85. The DH came to the American League in 73, and as part of an experiment, the DH was used in the World Series in 73, 74, 75. But then they decided to use the DH in both leagues in the World Series, in both the AL and NL park in the even years. So in 1982, they used the DH in both ballparks in the World Series this year. Are we ready to watch the 7th game of the 1982 World Series between the Brewers and the Cardinals?
Sure.
Okay, so now calling the game on NBC for the World Series is Dick Enberg, Joe Garagiola, and Tony Kubek, with Darrell Porter leading off.
Mississippi in the background. Bush Stadium, St. Louis. And a reminder, Friday night lineup on NBC. Hope you'll start at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Enjoy Matthew Starr.
Hey, wait a second. Did someone come to join us? Who's come to join us?
Porter leads it off. Porter
Yes,
sets for
Babalu.
23. One home
Babalu?
run, runs batted in, a 304 average in the World Series.
Oh, hi, Uncle Greg.
Strike one.
You've been listening to what I've been saying since you got here?
Yeah, I just started
Was fired
listening.
by the Oakland A's.
Joined a little late.
Game 7, man.
Yeah.
Didn't get it a slow
I'm just gonna
curveball.
tell you that
Next
Cecil
question,
Cooper was
yes,
one of
will
my
that
favorites.
remarriage be
Yeah.
made one more time with Mr. Steinbrenner and Billy? That 3 times or 4? I lost
Yeah.
I don't know if we made it happen. I made it. You
Show
Stadium.
the lineup.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'd be happy to. Unfortunately, I don't.
That's okay.
Oh, you just
Even the ballpark, it was a rumor and it was verified by a wire story. The press box was really buzzing.
And Vukovic
Billy Martin
had that cheesy mustache.
out. And so is Darrell Porter. Fastball on the inside corner. 2 off-speed pitches and a blazer, and he's got 2 strikeouts. So Vukovic, as we said earlier, he brought it with him.
You know, Darrell Porter made a name for himself with the Royals and the Cardinals. To be honest, I don't think he was ever better as a Cardinal than he was in the 82 postseason. 5 for 9, which is a 5.56 average in the NLCS against the Braves. In this World Series, as you just saw, he had a game-tying 2-run double in Game 2. In both series, he was the MVP. That was Dane Orge, who would eventually play for the Royals in the World Series in '85 and get the game-winning hit in Game 6 against the Cardinals.
Base hit for Dane Orge. He's 8 for 50. Now Brother Garvin, Toronto Blue Jays back home, taping this World Series for his brother Dave. Think he'll have some fun looking at
Yeah.
the base hits when the series is over with?
For the record, this is the bottom of the second.
Gander, as the ball picks up speed, can only dive. Orge has another one. What a hitter he is. He reminds me of the
Here's
other
Willie
side.
McGee, who in '82 was 3rd in Rookie of the Year voting. He would go on to become a 4-time All-Star, 3-time Gold Glover, and 2 NL batting crowns. On the Cardinals' all-time list, he currently ranks 10th in games played, 9th in singles, 7th in triples, and 6th in stolen bases. As I showed you earlier,
Straight away, there you see Molitor.
And he had the biggest ears of
Lead
baseball.
by Orge.
as I showed you earlier, he had 2 home runs off Pete Vukovic in Game 3 before saving the game for the Cardinals by robbing Gorman Thomas of a home run.
No score, bottom of the
I
second.
think his mannerisms reminded me.
I'm sorry?
Who do you think his mannerisms reminded me of? He reminded me, and I don't know if Greg concurs or not, but he always, his mannerisms reminded me of Mickey
Straight away center field.
Oh, yeah, Mickey Rivers, yeah.
He does. There are 2 outs.
What's so shocking about him hitting 2 home runs in Game 3 was that he wasn't a home run hitter, and he hit only 4 home runs all year in '82.
4 hits, but innings pitched, 100 and some walks during the regular season thrown in. Pitches ball games with 5 and 6 walks, 10 or 12 hits, and he can pitch you a 1 or 2 run ball game. He makes the pitch when he has to. Tommy Herr, the batter, and remember batting right-handed, Herr wore the protective shin guard on his back foot,
Tommy Herr used to beat
right
the
leg,
crap
and now
out of
batting
him.
left-handed, there it is on the front foot.
Yeah, you've mentioned that before, Mom.
He protects those wheels.
Oh, I have, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, you mentioned that to me a while back.
Combination that with 2 outs, you have to look for it because even if Orge should be thrown out, Herr would lead off the inning. So they've got something going if they want to use it. Holding. Outside, ball 1. There's the protective shin guard that Tommy Herr wears. Batting left-handed there. And
It's a shin guard.
hitters on the artificial surface. Infielders wear them all, but really, Lonnie Smith, he wears the cleats even on the turf. Good hitters kind of shy away from it because they like that footing in the batter's box. 1-0 pitch. Blocked nicely by Simmons. It's 2 balls and no strikes. I heard. We look at the third base umpire, Davey Phillips. Simmons asked for the appeal.
Tommy got fooled a little bit.
Yeah, he did.
Pop up.
Wasn't that low and inside?
Actually, if the catcher requests it. 2 balls and 1 strike. Orange is not a base-stealing threat, but more to break up the infield, if anything. Whitey Herzog has really done a job running these Cardinals. Run them right into the 7th game of the World Series. You can't operate any better than that.
That's one of the ways that Whitey Herzog came to this ball club as general manager. He said when he came over, he didn't see anybody going first and third. Couldn't score from second base on a legitimate base hit. Went for speed as he did when he was with Kansas City.
He went around that time, says Lee Wire. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Vukovic has struck out 2. Both hits by the Cardinals, infield hits. Hernandez beat one out to Gantner, and Orange hit one to the right of Gantner, who came up with the ball but couldn't make the play. No score. Taking a good look. Watch him just peer over that shoulder. Outside, 3-2. Brother, when he looks over there, you don't want to run before you see the whites of their eyes. You can see him.
How much what?
That shot.
See what
How many
Pete does
teams
this
did
count.
Vukovic
He
have?
stayed in the
He was
baseball
on the
game
Indians,
or he might have been on the
How many
Brewers.
strikeouts?
So much confidence in.
How many
I think
teams
baseball,
did he pitch
I don't know.
for?
Oh, how many teams did he pitch
He can
for?
do anything if he wants to. He can throw the breaking ball, fastball, or
Let's
I
see.
think he was with the Indians. He was with the.
He let up on it. He changed up on his walk team, and that puts Orange at second base. Her at first base. There are 2 outs, and it brings up Ozzie Smith.
Let's see here. He pitched for the White Sox, the Blue Jays, the Cardinals, and then the Brewers. So 4 teams.
Vukovic now wants time to talk to his catcher's head Simmons. Or is he going to get
Yeah.
a ball?
Don't forget the Yankees when he played Clue Haywood.
Catcher, usually the catcher meets him halfway or goes out. Pete does
Here's
all kinds
Ozzie
of
Smith,
things
one of the
like
greatest
the
defensive shortstops of all time.
Showing that he's
13 straight Gold Gloves, 15-time All-Star, over 2,400 hits, 580 stolen bases. On the Cardinals' all-time list, he currently ranks 8th in hits, 7th in runs scored, 4th in games played, at-bats and singles, and 3rd in walks and stolen bases.
Ozzie Smith, the batter.
I would
2
actually
outs,
argue
base runners at
he's
first
great.
and second, no score.
Shortstop in Major League Baseball history.
Low, and it's ball 1. Dane Orange at second base. Tommy Herr is on at first base.
Al Vukovic right in form. He usually pitches himself in a lot of trouble and right back out.
Line foul. Count, 1 ball, 1 strike.
You wonder, Joe, if this is the kind of team, the Cardinal team, that you want to pitch from behind on because although Orange is not a base hitter down at second base, there's at first. You walk him like he has a tendency to do, throw a lot of pitches and get behind in the count. You've got a running team out there. You can do with some teams that don't run. These Cardinals will take advantage of those base runners.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. High hopper up the middle. Robin Young coming over. Can't make a play.
No way you're getting Ozzie on that bounce, sir.
So we've seen a couple of artificial surface hits in this ball game already. There's another one. Young comes across, takes a glance. At third base, really, in case the runner Orange had made a wide turn, he would have gone that way. Watch him look over. See what the runner at third is doing.
He knew he didn't have a play at first base, and the Cardinals have the bases loaded. Here's Lonnie Smith.
Yeah, here's Lonnie Smith, the runner-up for MVP. Lonnie had arguably his best year as a Cardinal in '82. He led the league in runs scored with 120. Actually, this was his first year with the Cardinals. This was his only career All-Star appearance, and the only year he ever scored over 100 runs in a season. In '82, he also set out a lot of career highs with 592 at-bats, 182 hits, 35 doubles, and 257 total bases. He was also second in the league in stolen bases with 68.
Vukovic should be out of it. Thor makes the catch. So, he gives you a thrill. But the bottom of the second ends, the Cardinals do not score. We complete 2 innings of baseball here, and it's Milwaukee nothing, the Cardinals nothing. And we'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
Okay, so the Brewers went down 1-2-3 in the top of the third, so we now move ahead to the bottom of the third with Ken Oberkfell leading off.
And what's the score?
No score yet.
There are only 4 Goodyear blimps in the world, 3 in the United States, 1 in Rome, Italy. This one, Goodyear Blimp America from Houston, Texas. Our pilot captain, Tim Townley Wren from Escanaba, Michigan. Our cameraman, George Simpson.
Ken Oberkfell is probably best remembered for the game-winning hit he hit in Game 2 of the LCS against the Braves.
Vukovic working to Ken Oberkfell. Cooper with a short hop of the
There's
easy
always
play.
a
One away.
nuisance to the Mets.
Tom Seaver.
Oh.
Take a couple of things that you and Tony have touched on about the psychology of the pitchers, how they will try to intimidate the hitters. Think about Joaquin Andujar, as you have pointed out.
Here's Keith Hernandez, probably the greatest defensive first baseman ever. This was his 29th birthday. His best year with the Cardinals was probably 1979 when he won the NL batting crown and was co-MVP with Willie Stargell. Now, they're going to mention how he was hitless in the first 4 games of the series, but in games 5, 6, and 7, he would go 7 for 12, which is a .583 average.
That's really cut and fine when you have to intimidate a guy by the way you dress.
Of course, Vukovic, we mentioned earlier, hardly the Beau Brummel of the baseball world. In fact, where you see some of the dress for the 7th game of the World Series, some of the players are tailored so perfectly, their uniform. And Pete, he kind of dresses as if he wants to go to sleep right after the game. He doesn't have to put on his jammies. He's wearing them. Nice and loose.
For the first time, hitters ask for the baseball. A sinker that Vukovic threw to Hernandez.
2 balls, no strikes to Hernandez. Infield hit first trip. Back into the mezzanine. 2 balls and a strike. Hernandez hitless in the first 4 games, but has 7 hits since. 2-run homer last night.
His first 15 outs he made, he hit a lot of ground balls. He's adjusted, perhaps for the weight shift or position of the hands. His father, former professional ball player's hitting instructor.
3-1. He went around. No, says Dave Phillips on the
Ooh.
MPL. It's the second walk allowed by Vukovic.
Let me see.
You saw the graphic earlier. Vukovic leads the Brewers in walks.
Let's see.
Show you what the poor hitters cannot do.
I don't know. I think he went.
Jesus, look at it. Stop that bat.
Right fielder George Hendrick, he fouled the catcher Simmons.
Here's George Hendrick, who with the Cardinals made the All-Star team twice after making the All-Star team twice with the Indians. He also won 2 Silver Sluggers with the Cardinals. If you remember, he was known for not running out plays, giving 100%, and his long-standing policy of not talking to the media. They called him Joggin' George, or Captain Easy, or Silent George.
He hated the
And that's a good pitch by Vukovic because he's as much as telling him, hey, I know what you're trying to do and I'm going to keep you from it. And he comes inside and he hasn't seen that many pitches inside and he just made a question mark on it.
Joe, I'm not so sure it's that good a pitch when you go 2-0 on the cleanup hitter.
I don't think he wanted to make it a ball, Tony, but he got it inside is what I'm saying. He wasn't going to stay outside. He's letting him know that I know what you're trying to do. He was certainly trying for a strike. You never try to throw a ball unless you're way ahead of the hitter.
That's a good example of a hitter looking outside, almost got hit himself with the pitch. It wasn't that far inside, but he was leaning out over the plate. Strike, and it's 2-1. Little breaking balls at the slider until the strike zone.
That made that slider a little more effective, even though he went ball 1 on that second pitch.
Now let's see if Chuck Hiller, third base coach, relays the sign to Hernandez. 1 out, 2-1. Get him moving.
Manager's delight, 2 balls and a strike.
And Vukovic thinking along those lines, sends Hernandez back.
Continues to just lob the ball over, and the Cardinals know it. As a member of this ball club,
Base hit to left field. Hernandez will hold at second base.
So they were talking about George Hendrick usually hitting it to center or right in this series, but this time he pulled it to left field.
Darrell Porter took a third strike, his first at bat. Does it surprise you at all that in such cold conditions,
Yeah.
and this the final game, that both managers, any sign of trouble, wouldn't get someone warmed up just in case? As an example now, Vukovic pitched out of a bases loaded jam. In the last inning, he has 2 men on, 1 out in this inning. High drive to right. Charlie Moore is back to make the catch. Both runners tag. Here's the throw. And Hendrick also advances
First
into
pitch
second.
sack fly.
Hernandez goes to third as Porter flirted with a 3-run homer.
well, we're in the Cardinals
Did I make a
ballpark, the big
prediction
ballpark,
on the MVP?
where this is a home run in a lot of other places. And see, once you
Because I
get it
think I
away from
remember.
those spotlights, it does not carry.
Or do you want me to wait?
Another one of the reasons why the Cardinals will last in the major leagues in home runs.
Tony Kubek made a pretty good point about the ball not carrying in the old Busch Stadium.
And he has been the Cardinals' hottest hitter,
It would in the summer.
and also has been the most successful with men on base,
Alex,
400,
did you hear us?
in scoring those
I'm
runners.
sorry?
2 away, full windup for Vukovic.
I'm sorry, because it was so loud. What did you say?
Before he started, had a double his last at bat. Last night, his next start, a double, triple, double, and a line out to left, and then he had a single
Oh.
tonight. Out of play.
And Vukovic has
And
handed
I also asked
four
you if I could
Cardinals
make a
to the first couple of innings. He's got a couple more looking at him.
A prediction of the MVP?
This is typical pattern for the 29-year-old from Clarion State of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, sure.
How low can you flirt with that?
I
That's
think
true.
he was there
Cardinal ball
before.
club whose bats have been on the roll.
I just mentioned that earlier. Yeah.
Misses inside, 2-1. First base is open. Rookie Willie McGee
So I
is
guess my
on deck.
prediction is
And Vukovic knows
Yeah.
all about it. The young center fielder. He took him deep twice in Milwaukee.
Oh, he was there.
Gantner
I don't know why I remember it.
to Cooper, and Vukovic wiggles off the hook in the third. No runs, a hit, and 2 men left. 6 stranded by the Cardinals in the first 3 innings. We go to the top of the 4th inning at Busch Stadium, St. Louis. Paul Molitor, Robin Young, and Cecil Cooper. The first 3 in the batting order. No score.
Paul Molitor, Robin Yount, and Cecil Cooper.
After 3,
As Andrew Hard
Here we
Vukovic
go.
Yeah.
shut out the opposition. Joe Garagiola, Game 7. He remembers Country Slaughter, Game 7 in 1960. How well you recall Bill Mazeroski
Oh, Brady's
playing
not
the Star Beat tonight.
I think Tony Kubek is still alive.
That's right. I like you when you take a strong stance.
Yeah.
Joaquin
Here's
Andujar
Paul Molitor. How great
is
was
a
this
3
guy?
foot up on
7-time All-Star, 5 of those with the Brewers, 4 Silver Sluggers,
absolutely perfect.
2 of those with the Brewers, led the league in at-bats twice, led the league in runs scored 3 times, as well as hits. He led the league in hits with the Brewers once, 4 200-hit seasons, 2 of those with the Brewers. Also, with the Brewers, he led the league in doubles once, as well as triples. He also hit over 312 times, 8 of those times with the Brewers, giving him a lifetime batting average of 306. Over 500 career stolen bases as he singles to right field. A member of the 3,000 hit club, one of the most clutch hitters in baseball history. He has the best postseason career batting average in MLB history at 368.
The leading hitter for the Brewers Brewers in the series.
Sports Illustrated called him the most nondescript superstar in baseball, as well as calling him the complete player and a template of the refined player. Ted Williams even compared him to Joe DiMaggio. He led the league in runs scored in 82 with 136, and in the series he hit 355 and set a World Series record with 5 hits in Game 1. And get this, 2 years later, he became the first position player to undergo Tommy John surgery. He's the Brewers' all-time leader in stolen bases.
The lesser first baseman, Andújar would not be
Let
able
me
to do
ask
that.
you this.
So that
Can
hard.
you do me a favor? Can you Google Carlos Beltran
Ron Hansen,
seasons?
number 18, helping Mullins.
Oh, of course.
It's quite a contrast too between the two pitchers as far as the base runners. Bukovic,
I wanna hear- I wanna hear
just
his
let him
sound.
go with that lob, and Andújar.
Okay, but here's Robin Yount, who spent his entire career with the
ball too quickly.
Brewers. He currently ranks
Yes, he did.
Off the fist, Oberkfell gets one there, but not the double play. Yount safe on the fielder's choice.
he's Robin Yount is the Brewers' all-time leader in so many categories: games played, at bats, runs scored, hits, total bases, doubles, triples, RBIs, walks, singles, runs created, extra base hits, and more. Like Paul Molitor, he's a member of the 3,000 hit club. He led the league in hits in 82 with 210. That was his only career 200 hit season. He was the MVP.
Hernandez at first base,
Cecil?
making a good scoop.
Here's Cecil Cooper.
No score in the fourth. Andújar for the first time in the game working from a stretch position.
He led the league in RBIs and doubles twice, three 200 hit season, twice over 100 runs scored. And with the Brewers, he hit 307 seasons in a row.
Maybe he would throw this out in the American League.
Base hit to right field. Yount's going to third. Hendricks throw. He got it.
That wasn't even close, was it? Tim McCarver always said that it's okay to make the second out at third base, but George Hendrick, if you recall, had a very good arm, and he proved it right there. So did Robin Yount make the right move? Who was up after him? I believe it was,
And the play was made because Yount going from first to second had to wait to make
Ted
the
Simmons.
didn't hit him. That lost step was the difference between out and safe at third base.
Yeah.
Hendrick with a perfect throw. So 2 out and Ted Simmons the batter. He flied to left his first time
I
up.
know he was trying to get to
Couple of
third
home
base
runs in
with
the
one out.
series,
They're
both
already at second
solo
base.
shots. And both of them here.
They're already in scoring position.
Popped up. Darrell Porter. And the inning is over.
Yeah, Ted Simmons was a former Cardinal, and he was considered one of the best hitting catchers in the game. He hit over 307 different seasons, over 20 homers in 6 different seasons, and he caught 122 shutouts, 8th all time, 8th most all time.
Watch Robin Yount as he rounds second base. Here's where he makes a big loop, much like as if he was going to score. You think going into the bat he would have been straighter. And so another thing, there's one time
You know what?
sliding head first, actually hurt him. And he got it feet first and probably would have upended Overkill and maybe just slid right through him. No matter which way, Hendricks made
Not just that, when Cecil Cooper hit the ball to right field, he had to stop to get out of the way. That's probably what cost him.
Judge me by the job I do, and he does the
That
job.
and he took 2 wide of
Big play.
Yeah.
As Milwaukee denied at
He
the
cut
top
the
of the
base.
fourth. Willie McGee
That's
leads off
right.
the last half.
And to answer your question earlier, Mom, Beltran hit 307 in the postseason.
some other stats. 3 apiece.
Silent man.
16 homers, 42 RBIs,
Perhaps the most popular player on this ball club.
16.
He has a base
half of those homers were in 2004 when he was with the Astros.
And for the fourth inning, Vukovic will be pitching with a runner aboard, and for the first time,
He still was
with the
great
leadoff
postseason.
man on.
And it's the first time that
Even
the
at the end of
Cardinals
his
have had a
career.
base stealer as the lead runner. Orange out in front, clogging it up a little bit.
How many gold gloves did go through?
Tommy Herbst,
How many Gold Gloves?
the hit and run man,
Correct.
and he may be able
Oh.
to give Willie McGee a chance to steal.
Molitor is in tight. We're going to see some action because they'll test Vukovic and Porter, and if they pick the right pitch with the change of speed, there's no way they'll get McGee.
Now Her's there to serve the kind of job that Jim Gilliam did for Maury Wills, Science
What inning
Market
are we
for
in?
Brock.
We are in the bottom of the fourth, I believe.
Let Willie go.
Stole successfully 17 out of his last 21 attempts. Yeah, that's not a bad play by her. He may not be sacrificing, he may just be taking, but by squaring around, he brings the infield in, and if McGee indeed is stealing, he gives a little something for everyone to look at.
Except the catcher, when you square around like that, it's tough to see the base runner, and it blocks your vision if the bat is high enough.
McGee bluff going, and it's 2-0.
You know, there's really no sense sacrificing with a McGee there unless it's late in the ball game because he can steal second base for you without giving up an out by the sacrifice. So Her's there to protect.
Did you see that infield, the way it really jumped around there?
Gantner was
So,
Gantner was
Beltran got 3 Gold Gloves in a row, all with the Mets.
So McGee at first base with
Not
his
with the
lead.
Astros, huh?
That's correct.
It's a right deal. Moore has to play on a hop. McGee on the third.
You slipped too.
Oops. My mistake. I apologize. I hit the wrong thing.
Said that the Cardinals wanted it. They don't take the casual lead off and then expect the guy to hit behind him. They try and steal the base. Although McGee that time wasn't too sure because he didn't have a good job. Hiller is trying to say, "Come on over." It's bouncing in front. McGee finally senses it and comes over.
And had Moore caught the ball, McGee was too far gone. That would have been a double play, but it is a base hit, first and third, and Milwaukee's bullpen busy for the first time.
Well, Harvey Key thus far in this World Series, Dick, has managed like he did 162 ball game. There's that Vukovic stand when they scored run, Haas and Sutton. He's got somebody up early this game.
Ozzie Smith, an infield hit his first time up as he chopped one over the mound. And one of the things the Milwaukee defense has to look for here is a possible squeeze bunt. They could get a run home and move the other man to second base to place him in scoring position. Smith handles the bat well.
So they're talking about trying to squeeze play. Would you?
They were very good up into the right side. Gantner calling. Oh, that's what Smith didn't want to do with his feet to get the ball in the air. And there's one.
So Willie McGee's on third. Runners are on the corners thanks to the hit and run.
Floor, left-hander with a couple of saves in this series. And Moose Haas, the starting pitcher for the Brewers over the weekend, the right-hander tuning up.
And almost every Cardinal that's set up by Whitey Herzog hits into double plays very infrequently. Makes it that much tougher on the defense. A little more shallow, artificial surface. Some of those balls scoot on through.
We've had a couple meetings. Robin Young having a meeting now. He just wants to know what Vukovic and Simmons were talking about, the possibility of double steal, and of course make sure that Vukovic knows who's covered on a double play. If there's only one thing in his mind, that's strikeout.
And also, what pitch he's going to
All
try
right,
and
some
get
were
nice
coming
with the
in.
hit.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Playing up the middle or in the holes. You can sink the ball down and in, ride the ball away.
He's going to have another meeting because he's not sure, and that's a good idea. You can't pitch when you're out there wondering. You got to know exactly what's happening.
These are all the psychological moves by Vukovic. I've seen him go behind the mound and pretend he was literally vomiting, like he was sick on the mound and breezing to strike past. Like I did against Dan Breeson against Cincinnati.
First and third, In at the corner is Molitor at third. Smith, fly ball to right, first two at bats. Change up, pat him out in front. No runs, 6 hits for the Cardinals in the first 3 1/3. No runs, 2 hits for Milwaukee. Molitor can't get it. Young will have to eat it. The run scores. 1-0 St. Louis.
So Molitor playing shallow cost him a double play, but with the speed on the bases, Lonnie Smith's foot speed, and only 1 out with a runner on third, I don't think you can play back in that situation.
And he's been able to play 2 strides deeper, catches that ball, and you've got an around-the-horn double play started.
You know, Whitey Herzog has constructed his team to play on the artificial surface, and we've seen a lot of carpet hits. There was another in this game tonight. Oberkfell takes a strike. He is struck out and grounded to first.
As Harvey has said all year, it's which side do the lucky inches fall. That's what determines the winner.
1-0 St. Louis in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2 on and only 1 out. Just to drop in a note as to what the early lead has meant this year to Joaquin Andujar. When the Cardinals have scored first for Andujar, he is 15-1.
Wow.
And they've given him the early lead tonight.
That's a pretty good fact that they just mentioned.
Cooper gets one there, and that's all that the Brewers can manage.
So again, they can't get the double play, but they get the force at second for the second out.
There are very few players who break off first base and going harder than Lonnie Smith. Watch where he ends up on Young. He goes after him, tries to kick him, ends up almost out shortstop spot.
That throw by Cooper is his 10th assist in this series. That sets a new record for first baseman. The old mark back in 1918. Fred Merkle of the Cubs.
So Keith is coming up with 2 outs. Should they be pitching to him?
Throw out there, another good play.
Vukovic gets out of this. Not out of the end. Just one run. He's done a pretty good job.
Should they pitch to him?
Excuse me, Johnny. Infield hit and a walk.
How many people on this?
Runners are on the corners with 2 outs.
No, I would.
Third,
You have, with 2 outs in the World Series, you got to push it.
2-0. George Henry on deck.
So while you guys were away, yeah, you saw the Lonnie Smith score first, and as I mentioned earlier, Molitor playing shallow cost him double play. But with speed on the bases and Lonnie Smith's foot speed, and only 1 out with a runner on third, I don't think you can play back in that situation.
Vukovic, a former Cardinal, played 3 years here in St. Louis, was 12-12,
Well,
15-10.
Ken Oberkfell was on deck when Lonnie Smith was at the plate.
To Milwaukee. 3-1.
And they made a pretty good point about, Andujar being 15-1 when the Cardinals scored first for him.
3-2. You're doing pretty good sync up.
Nothing else to really pressing Vukovic every inning, forcing him to throw a lot of pitches, extend himself, but show up later on.
The 2 strikes he's been able to get on Hernandez both been that sinker, hard sinker.
Full count, that'll give.
I just remembered Pete Vukovic and Ted Simmons were traded from the Cardinals to the Brewers for 4 other players. Simmons was traded the same reason Keith was. Neither of them got along with Whitey Herzog.
Got him with a changeup. And for Vukovic,
Yeah.
it It's a tight
Vukovic threw some off-speed stuff to get Keith swinging.
Take the early lead on 3 hits, lead 2, 8 bins stranded by St. Louis in the first 4 innings. It's 1-0 Cardinals. We'll be right back.
Well,
after
hang
these
on.
messages from your local station. Here
I'm
action
sorry.
Just moments ago at Caesars, that's Harvey Keene's
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Uncle Greg?
Thomas home run at Williams County Stadium. Little tension there as well. 1-0 St. Louis lead, and the Cardinals have given Joaquin Andujar
Well, yeah, they
to lean on.
same reason.
And again, that's
The main reason why
Andujar, who was 15
Ted Simmons and Keith Hernandez were traded was simply because they didn't get along with Whitey Herzog.
He'll be facing Ogilvy, Thomas, and Howell in the defending.
Yeah. I mean,
Ogilvy,
but what I want to know is that.
quiet series, only 5 hits and no RBI.
Thank you.
It's from Aunt Randy.
Mark there, of course.
Ooh,
including
a
the
new
playoff-
watch.
Playoff series as well.
Thank you.
And the explosion from these Brewers bats that people
Look.
talked about, we've seen so much of. Look out.
That one's hit
And
well.
Ben
Deep to
Ogilvy
right,
goes
and it's fair,
deep.
It's gone, and we have a tie game.
Yeah. Yeah, Ben Ogilvy had a silver slugger in 1980 as you see the Brewers fans cheering at Harvey's bar in Milwaukee. He was a 3-time All-Star in 1980. He became the first non-U.S. born player to lead the league
As expected,
in home runs with 41. He also hit 3 home runs in a game 3 times.
Where was he born?
Oh, I know.
Jamaica, maybe?
Something like that. I need to double check.
What has been fun about this series, these are 2 highly partisan cities. You get New York and Los Angeles, and you'll get some people rooting
You see
for
the
other
contrast?
side. What the
Everyone's
other side
cheering in
is,
Milwaukee.
out of these 2 cities, you don't
You
dare
saw
yell cheers for
the Cardinals
Milwaukee in
fans.
this town, nor
And Ben Ogilvy is from Panama.
Milwaukee.
People here were sitting like they were handcuffed.
They were.
1-1 as Andujar faces Gorman Thomas, and he hits it high, just missed it.
Gorman Thomas was an All-Star the previous year, and he led the league in home runs twice.
Quinn playing tricks with it. That had some hearts in some throats here at Busch Stadium.
They haven't had a whole lot of good swings at Joaquin Andujar. They've been behind him, but they seem to be catching up. This pitch is a slider that is about belt high inside. Did not get down like Andujar usually likes to throw it. He gets that downward action along with the inward action. It just stayed right there. He really hit it hard. Last 2 balls, very few that have been pulled.
Howell to Oberkfell. Good
I'm
play.
telling you, these Brewers hitters are just like the MLB hitters we have today. Being too aggressive and not taking many pitches.
Said at the pregame show has pushed themselves to the brink all season long when they lost fingers. The pitching staff got tired. They go out and get something to really clinch it for them.
And as you heard, Harvey Keene, Roland Fingers will not pitch tonight. So Fingers, in essence, was a decoy through the playoff series and the World Series.
Here's Charlie Moore, who actually had a pretty good postseason. 6 for 13 in the ALCS and 9 for 26 in the World Series. Add that all up, that's 15 for 39 total. That's a 384 average.
They did not make him eligible.
1 strike to Moore. Kerr has to hurry. Gets him. And the inning is over. But Ben Ogilvy's long home run to right has tied the game. And at the halfway mark in this one, 4.5 innings in the book. The Milwaukee Brewers won. The St. Louis Cardinals won.
Okay, now, so the Cardinals didn't score in the bottom of the 5th, so we move ahead to the top of the 6th with the score still tied at 1 and Jim Gantner leading off.
The umpires this year chosen by merit for work in the World Series, and you're looking at Bill Haller, who is a senior umpire in the American League, and he is umpiring what he says will be his last game. 47-year-old Haller completing his 20th year as an umpire. joined the league for the 1963 season, 4th World Series. And the umpires, and I guess what was typical, Tony, in the clubhouse, the umpires' dressing room, as we look at the whole list, presented Bill Haller with a beautifully engraved clock. The only people there were the other umpires.
I think he might continue on in a supervisory capacity for Dick Butler and the umpiring crew out of the American League.
Be a good choice.
He's been one of the best for a long time.
True.
Drilled into right center field. That could go all the way to the wall and does. Gantner looking at a possible triple, but settles for 2. And the Brewers had the leadoff man on to open the 6th inning as Gantner, who hit Andujar 2 for 2 the first time they met, as a double in the 6th. Give you an idea of the difference in pitches made. Andujar, that was his 50th pitch. Vukovic has already thrown 70, 20 more.
And the extra base hits on the part of some of these Brewers coming from the unlikely spots. Gantner's 4th double of this series. Charlie Moore has 3. Yount is 3. Of course, he gets extra base hits all year long.
Molitor, whose single was through the right side, and that's where he'll be trying to aim one now to advance that runner.
He may push a bunt, too. He does that a lot in this situation.
Good call. That's what he had indicated. Takes the strike on the outside corner.
Got to be careful of with Hernandez fielding at first base the way he charges, throwing from the left side. He can come up with that ball. If you don't get a good jump off second base, he can gun you out because Oberkfell was not even charging.
Doug Bear is going to start throwing in the bullpen for St. Louis, the first activity we've had in the Cardinal pen. Good-looking bunt. Andujar. He saved. The rough ball gets away. The run scores. Molitor will hold at second base.
So Molitor bunted to move Gantner to third, but thanks to a bad throw by Andujar, Gantner scores and Molitor goes to second. But look at, yeah, it's 2-1. Look at this play. As you can see, Andujar didn't set himself, and he threw it way off balance.
He won. Look at how far he is. Oberkfell trying to hold third. Glances off the hit for the back. Goes down to the bullpen.
It's ruled an infield hit for Molitor, and then advancing each man a base on Andujar's throwing error. And the Milwaukee Brewers.
You think he might have gotten Molitor with a good throw? If he did set himself and not throw it off balance?
Just exchanges places with Gantner and Robin Yount, the batter. High chopper, that'll get the job done. No recovery, first base, and Yount is safe.
Wow. So Andujar screwed up not once but twice in this inning. First he throws the ball away that leads to a run. Now he fails to cover first on that high bouncer.
Look at how he just hits inside out, chops the ball into the ground, giving himself up.
Look at where Andujar is.
Had to roll to the third base line, just froze and didn't get over to cover.
He might have been still thinking about that throwing error, and that's his play. Did not break it all toward first base. And everything going right for the Brewers here in the top of the 6th. They'd lead 2-1 and have runners at first and third, and no one out.
Can't help it once again, those lucky inches, the way they fall. One way or the other, it determines it. And for the first time, we saw Andujar thinking about that shot that Simmons hit off his leg. Can he move as we look at the bullpen? Cott is the left-hander, Bear is the right-hander.
And Andujar moved to first base to cover well earlier in the game, and a little mental lapse that time that could really hurt him.
Here's Molitor when he bunted down and Andujar threw off balance. Andujar had an awful lot on this throw to show you the strength of his arm when he was falling away from the first base bag that went to the bullpen. Brewers, chance for a big inning with nobody out.
Cecil Cooper, 1 for 2 off Andujar. Yount at first, Molitor at third, 2 good base runners, and Molitor with much better than average speed. Outfield deep straight away. 2-1 Milwaukee, top of the 6th. Going, out goes. Hit to deep left. Back goes Smith. Molitor tagging. He'll score. Yount played it halfway, now returns to first base. It's 3-1 Brewers.
So Harvey Keene Trying to stay out of the double play, create a hole because Cooper canted the ball so well the opposite way. He had Ozzie Smith covering the shortstop spot, Dick. He got it in the air. He was trying to shoot it through the shortstop hole. Here's Cooper with the out leaving. The first base bag really carried much more deeply than I thought it would. And when he sees it'll score the run on the sacrifice fly. That's what you saw.
Interesting shot. Remember in the playoff series, he was making a different gesture. Get down, and that line drive single. That was the game-winning hit against the Angels in Game 5. Ted Simmons with one out. Yount at first. 3-1 Brewers. Out of play.
Just an observation, Dick, about this Milwaukee club. Tony, I think they think play. Molitor was thinking any way to get him over. Cooper, any way to get him in. Instead of Yount, same way. Instead of thinking base hit or whatever, thinking to play. What do I need now? Sacrifice fly, bunt, whatever.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Joe, I don't think there's any question that for a team that is considered to be a team of sluggers and big inning ball club, that they are very fundamentally sound. Defensively, they've played shabbily at times, but they've also played brilliantly, and they have shown you in this inning how to move base runners.
Ooh, almost threw that away as Yount ahead first time.
Andujar for about 4 innings looked almost untouchable the way they were swinging late, but they seem to have caught up to his fastball now.
Slider makes it 1-2. 2 runs are in to break the tie in the Milwaukee 6th inning. Gantner led it off with a double through the gap in right center. Molitor safe on a bunt single and moved to second as Gantner scored on Andujar's throwing error to make it 2-1. Sacrifice fly by Cooper. Got the other run in. Hernandez, one there, and not in time at first base.
Tough play, but at least they got the lead runner at second for the second
You
out.
see 2 first basemen. I can think of Eddie Murray of the Baltimore Orioles who really excel at getting the lead runner. Watch him. He's not even thinking stepping on first. He wants to get the lead man, get the speedy man off the base, and the acrobat, Ozzie Smith, gets the throw off.
You're also seeing 2 aggressive plays. I mean, neither one satisfied with just the easy way. Hernandez tagging first base or Ozzie Smith holding the ball. He threw it submarine, underhand, and almost made the play.
Rodney Herzog checking Ben Oglivie, who tied the game with his solo homer in the 5th inning. And up now with 2 outs, Simmons at first. Up the middle, great stop by Her, and he gets the out.
Great play by Tommy Hurt to rob Ben Oglivie of a hit.
Well, Pirelli stoppers for both teams, but primarily for the Cardinals. Ozzie Smith and Her do it again.
But the Brewers get 2 in the 6th and lead it 3-1. Before we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
First for sports tonight at 11.
Current temperature 43 degrees. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning of the final game of this 82 World Series. The Brewers have broken the tie with 2 in the top half of the inning. Running foul. Dick Enberg, Joe Garagiola, Tony Kubek, and Tom Seaver. We're in the last of the 6th. The Cardinals jumped in front in the 4th inning with a runoff starter, Pete Vukovich, who's been in trouble in most every inning. Singles by McGee and Her, and an infield hit by Lonnie Smith scored the Cardinal run. Ben Oglivie's homer tied it in the 5th, and then 2 runs in the 6th inning to go ahead 3-1.
He was hollering, watch the line, watch the line.
1-1.
If you're a batter, Tony, you have to look for an off-speed pitch if he hollers that, but then you can't really believe that fella, can you?
Her
quickly. He's now thrown 2 in a row. The Cardinals have stranded 9 base runners. Vukovic pitching like he has over the last couple of years, the best record in the American League. Get behind and somehow get him out.
2-1. On the corner with another change, 2-2. And a reminder, Vukovic has a whole pitching staff support, including 2-game winner in this series, Mike Caldwell, if Harvey Kuenn should elect to use him in relief. He's ready. Nub to the left side. Molitor to Cooper. 1 away. Number 1, shortstop, Ozzie Smith. Ozzie Smith, an infield hit in 2 trips.
Molitor way up close now at third base. Cooper, not even with a bag, looking for a bunt. Ozzie Smith may try and slap the ball by him, something that Chuck Hiller, the third base coach, has really worked on with him. Chopped down on the turf, coming off the San Diego dirt and grass.
1-1.
Molitor almost giving it that Pete Rose, come on in and challenge him and force him to hit that way.
There it is.
And it's a base hit to left. Oakley cutting it off at the line, and Smith will hold with a long single.
Little piece of place hit. He was trying to slap the ball that way, gets a line drive. They certainly had a position perfectly, didn't they, Dick? Because Oakley right near the line prevents the double.
9 hits for the Cardinals, all singles.
He's aiming that way, and hit by Molitor.
That's amazing, Alex, that all their hits up
Guarding the line prevents it from becoming.
It's amazing that all their hits what?
There's field goals up until the
end along with Moose Haas.
Yeah.
Tying runners at the plate, Lonnie Smith. Ripped there. So the Smith brothers, Ozzie and Lonnie, are in scoring position. St. Louis.
That's twice in this ballgame that Lonnie Smith, with his speed, Molitor having to come in. He chopped one to the left of Molitor the last time up. This time he hits it harder, but still gets by to the right. Now Vukovic in trouble once again. I admire a guy like Vukovic who keeps getting in trouble and is able, to this point, to be able to pitch out of it somehow.
One of those guys looks around, sees a couple of men on base, and turns to the plate, says, "I got you right where I want you."
Yeah. For how long?
I'll tell you, it's been the old story. It's almost like he looks around and figures he's pitching with 2 infields, and now looking at the show, his coolness, he's just changing shoes.
He has always got something going. He's one of the pitchers who wears 2 different shoes from 2 different companies. He may have the same company.
Look at
shoes
this.
time, but all these little psychological ploys that just kind of stop the action of the game and make himself the center of attention.
You hear the fear?
Hey, look at him. Here's something. There comes
Yeah.
Harvey Kuenn, but here's a guy.
He's booing because he's wasting time getting his shoes right.
And he comes up with a bad shoemaker.
Cardinal rally.
Got
Yeah.
both shoes. How do you do that?
Looking for his lucky quarter. Harvey Kuenn coming out to talk with Vukovic. We may see a pitching change.
He will come up with something almost every game you see him pitch, Vukovic. Anything for the little bit of an edge.
Left-handed hitter Oberkfell is the man up. With Ozzie at third, the tying run Lonnie at second, and McClure will come in and pitch to Oberkfell.
Okay, so now Harvey Kuenn is going to go to the lefty Bob McClure, and Whitey Herzog is going to have right-handed hitter Gene Tennis bat for Ken Oberkfell.
Cardinals threatening to tie.
Looks like dominoes there.
Gene Tennis batting for Oberkfell, and McClure's first pitch is ball 1. Tennis, 0 for 6 in the series, and the most valuable player back in 1972 when he hit 4 home runs for Oakland in their victory over the Cincinnati Reds. The infield is playing back. They'll give up a run for an out. 3-1. The the Brewers lead. 1 out, runners at second and third. McClure against Tennis. Ball 2.
When I think of Gene Tennis, I think of the 72 World Series where he was the MVP, where he helped the Reds, he helped the A's beat the Reds in 7 games.
And he has 2
Gene
saves
Tennis.
saving games 4 and 5.
72 World Series MVP. He helped the A's win the 72 World Series in seven games over the Reds.
Tennis 2-0. Chance to tie it.
Oh, yeah.
Takes a curveball strike. 2-1.
He was a pain in the neck then, too.
Yeah.
Single with Tad with Lonnie at third and Ozzie at second. Outfield deep with respect to Tennis.
This is excellent.
Ball 3.
And Herzog can make a move like this. There's Hernandez on deck. And taking over, fellows, had a good series out because he's got Ramsey, who's played so well defensively. Ramsey, Tennis gets out, may go on a pinch run.
First base open. 3 balls and a strike. And he misses inside. The bases are loaded. Mike Ramsey will run.
Yeah, so Keith Hernandez is coming up while Mike Ramsey pinch runs for Gene Tennis at first. As the announcers will eventually predict, Ramsey is going to stay in the game and play third base. This is personal for both Bob McClure and Keith Hernandez because they played baseball together as teammates when they were in Little League and eventually high school.
6 hits in the last 3 games.
Yeah.
Trying to get St. Louis even. Mike Caldwell is starting to warm up in the Milwaukee bullpen, joining Moose Haas. So still 2 starting pitchers. Haas, who started game 4. Caldwell, who has 2 starts and 2 wins in this World Series, getting ready. 1-0. Big curveball, 1-1.
Man, the Cardinals have pegged him in only 1 run. Up until this point.
Yeah.
Hard to do.
Hernandez on his birthday.
Yeah.
All the candles are lit for him. Bases full. Lonnie Smith. Ozzie at third. Lonnie at second. Ramsey at first. The pinch runner. 1 out. Outside. It's 2-1. The action pitch. 2 balls and a strike. McClure wants to throw a strike, and you know Hernandez is ready to swing, and the bases are full. Ball 3. The Cardinals have already won a game in this series, game 2 on a bases loaded walk. McClure has to throw a strike or he throws a run. Hit the right center. Base hit. The game is tied.
memorable moment in the World Series, a dramatic confrontation, but also a very emotional one. Two former high school teammates, McClure and Hernandez, facing each other. Two RBIs by Hernandez.
All on his birthday. Ramsey making it to third, Hernandez at first.
Hey, Alex.
Yeah.
It's even at 3.
You know that Keith Hernandez's favorite number?
And George Hendrick, who led the National
And
League
that's why he wore
with
37.
14 sacrifice
Because he likes
flies.
math.
Oh yeah. He had to switch it because he couldn't wear 37 when he came to the Mets because of Casey Stengel's retired number.
Some of the attendants picking things up.
Free
throw from some jubilant
Yeah.
fans. And
That
now
was left 3.
Yep.
Well, that's a
Yeah, I just
the
made
answer
that
of the
up,
Cardinal
Alex,
fans
so
to
I
a
can
bread
get
and
my
chicken
mom too.
that we saw
Oh.
the Brewer fans.
Yeah.
Listening
I
to
figure
the
it's
chicken as a
true.
Cardinal.
Yeah.
Not you, Alex, your
Bottom
mom.
of the 6th inning.
Yeah.
And Hendrick up.
Howell, the left-hander, moves house the right-hander.
Movement.
Harvey has not made the move to go to his right-hander to get Hendrick, the right-handed hitter. Corner, left-hander up next.
Hendrick 1 for 3. The leading RBI home run man the last 3 years for St. Louis. Foul tip. Ramsey, tiebreaker at third. Hernandez with a 2-run single at first.
Middle of the diamond, the Brewer infield looking for a double play. And if they get the third or first, if they don't feel they can get the double play, they'll come home and get right.
You surprised that Artie now into a right-hander?
Yes, somewhat.
Oops.
Plays at the plate. Foul ball. Foul ball. No play.
Hang on. I apologize.
So that's a break for the Cardinals.
I'm sorry, I gotta rewind that.
Although McClure got him a big double play. One game with McGee at the bat on the right side. A double play turned by Gantner. What's his play?
Hang on, I gotta rewind so you can see that.
Left-hander moves house the right-hander. Harvey has not made the move to go to his right-hander to get Hendrick, the right-handed hitter. Corner, left-hander up next.
Hendrick 1 for 3. The leading RBI home run man the last 3 years for St. Louis. Foul tip. Ramsey, tiebreaker at third. Hernandez with a 2-run single at first.
Middle of the diamond, the Brewer infield looking for a double play. And if they get the third or first, if they don't feel they can get the double play, they'll come home and get Ramsey.
You surprised that Artie Keen is now into a right-hander?
Yes, somewhat.
Plays at the plate. Foul ball. Foul ball. No play. So that's a break for the Cardinals.
Ramsey's lucky that was a foul ball.
Although McClure got him a big double play. One game with McGee at the bat on the right side. A double play turned by Gantner.
Watch this play at the plate when Ramsey comes in head first, which is a big mistake because he's going up against Simmons, and there's no way he's going to get to the plate, and he's going to get a shin guard sandwich in the process. That's very dangerous. Catchers love to see those guys come in head first. Hi there.
Would you say that Simmons had the plate blocked adequately? Not a chance.
Couldn't get in there unless he had a subpoena. It was a foul ball, and Simmons is arguing about it with Lee Wire.
They need the sacrifice fly to break the tie of these Cardinals. McClure with a good sinker. He also has a very good hard slide.
That was nice. The birthday sign for Keith Hernandez.
That was Alex.
1 and 2.
That may be the pitches.
I'm sorry, what?
He was using that to set up this pitching decision. Whether it's this one or the 2-2, you would think it'd be here.
You're not in the middle of the video.
Oh.
Nastily, Milwaukee dugout. It's McClure's game now. Being close to book on Vukovic, who went 5 in the third innings, allowing 3 runs.
Is that better?
And hits. McClure came in and walked tennis. Run for Ramsey. Ramsey's now at third, and Hernandez at first. 1-2.
Dick Hendrick is one of the only cleanup hitters that I know, a guy who drove in 104 runs this year, who can adjust when he gets behind in the count, alter his swing, and just peck away the opposite way. And he spreads out, doesn't stride much, and seems to try and hit that ball right up the middle. Those cleanup hitters are there for one thing, make the big cut.
Infield back. Line into right field. Ramsey scores and scored at 3 St. Louis.
Yeah. Dick Enberg.
Hendrick has done it both ways so far tonight. A great throw from right field to take the Brewers out of the first and third situation when he gunned down Robin Yount at third.
4 years later,
And now base hit when he's behind the count to drive home the tie-breaking run.
Still only 1 out. Tom Seaver. Dick, one thing that comes into play now, obviously, we got this close. Bruce Sutter in the bullpen. When will Whitey use him? Whitey, prior to the game, said he would not bring him in before the 7th inning, but now Cardinals go up by a run, still only 1 out of the inning. And a healthy Bruce Sutter, the guy that has been probably the most effective, most important player on this entire team, the Cardinal team.
He's coming in for a
Rested, ready in the bullpen.
They're talking about Bruce Sutter, Whitey Herzog insisting that he not pitch more than 2 innings.
That's not what I heard.
Yeah.
I heard he wasn't going to bring him in before the 7th.
With a left-hander out there, Green would hit against McClure, but
that's what I
this may
heard.
be McClure's last man.
So what inning is it right now?
It is, I believe it is the bottom of the... Oh, hang on.
Singles by Hernandez and Hendrick. Breaking ball up there.
Bottom of the 6th, I believe.
Hendrick at first.
Okay, so yeah, so he
With
wants
an
to put
RBI single that has given St. Louis a 4-3 lead.
2-inning save.
Just because it's Game 7, but this has been the most
What a
dramatic
difference.
of the 7 series games between these two clubs.
Well, yeah, the guy said about blocking the play. He wasn't going to get in there without a subpoena.
Yeah.
I guess one of the questions that stands out in the postgame conference is consider going to right-hander to get Hendrick and then coming in with a left-hander Caldwell.
Ball 3-1. Caldwell and Haas are both ready if needed, as Harvey Keene checking his batting list and available players, not only his own, but those of Whitey Herzog. Last of the 6th, the Cardinals have scored 3 to move ahead 4-3. Only 1 out. The count is now full.
That pitch, he threw it twice before he said that.
Yeah.
Directly over Busch Stadium.
Swinging
From the left.
fucking toes started to
The geometry of baseball. 2 on, 1 out, 3-2 the count. to the delight of this Busch Stadium crowd, have regained the lead. Runners go. It's hit deep. A hooking foul.
That's the same kind of confidence that Whitey Herzog showed in Porter earlier in this series when he started Hendricks. 1 ball, 2 strikeouts. He knows Porter's been swinging a pretty good bat, though. MVP in the National League Championship Series. You got a guy going who's hot and start some runners.
The curveball that McClure's been able to get, it's a daring play on Whitey's part because he could run himself out or strike out, throw him out, but he got here by running him, and he's going to live and die by that strategy.
3-2. Runners did not go, and Young wasn't covering, and McClure just put the ball off the shortstop.
He didn't have to throw it at all. By the second base that way, he could have just held it. Robin Yount starts breaking over. That ball's rolling out in the outfield.
Only one out. Gander gets one there. Young to first, not in time. The inning is still alive. Hendrick erased
So even though catcher Daryl Porter doesn't run very well, he's able to beat it out, and the inning is still alive.
Not hit very hard, and Porter from the left side surprisingly had an excellent jump out of the batter's box.
Here comes Harvey Keene. As soon as David Green was introduced as the pinch hitter for Dane Orge, Keene made his move up the steps and undoubtedly going to bring in Moose Haas, the right-hander, to pitch to the right-handed hitting Green. Runners at first and third, 2 out in this 6th inning. With 1 out, Ozzie Smith single to left. Lonnie Smith double down the left field line. Exit Vukovic, enter McClure, a walk to the pinch hitter Tennis, then a 2-run single by Hernandez to tie it. Hendrick giving them the lead. St. Louis the lead with his single. And now Moose Haas in relief. We break for this action. Moose Haas, the starter in Game 4 for Milwaukee, did not figure in the decision. The second relief pitcher used by Keene here in the 6th inning. Tom Seaver?
Because I go back over to the pitching chart and you look at what might be the turning point, the key factor in the inning so far for the Cardinals. Keith Hernandez up against the left-hander McClure. First, second pitcher that Hernandez saw was a curveball that Keith jumped back from. It was going to be a very tough pitch for him to hit. But then McClure went to 3-1 with the bases loaded. You could go to everybody in this ballpark and know that a fastball was coming. Keith, of course, you give him an advantage, give that type of hitter that advantage where he has a shot at a 3-1 count, especially with the bases loaded, and can sit on a fastball. He's going to drive the ball hard somewhere. Of course, he drove it up the middle, drove in 2 runs.
All right, Tom, so
now it's Haas trying to get the final out in what is already a 3-run Cardinal inning.
Is Tom Seaver still an active player at this time?
Yes, he still is.
And you can have that luxury of making
He still was.
Rubber and Gonzalez left. If
Yeah.
you've got a shooter in the bullpen.
I didn't realize. Okay, that's interesting. They put him into the booth.
Hernandez
Yeah.
at third. Porter at first, 2 out.
What year is this, 82?
4-3.
Yes, it is.
Leads Milwaukee. Bottom of the 6th inning.
I believe the announcers
Green, who was hitting
made a
forward.
pretty good point.
Orge
I'm not sure if they've made it yet,
What a series for him.
but
9%.
should Harvey Keene have brought in right-hander Moose Haas to pitch to right-handed hitter George Hendrick, and then
The winning run.
bring in lefty Mike Caldwell to pitch to left-handed hitter Dale Porter?
Well, did they say that before she got the hit or after?
After.
Yeah, well, you know, they should have said
Pitched so
it before.
brilliantly against the California Eagles in the 6th inning, pitching
Yeah.
both baseball championship series. Good fastball, tough slider if it's on the top. And a
So,
forkball.
as you can see,
Dave wrong, but here's what it is.
Right. And it's 1-2. Peter Ladd has joined Mike Caldwell in the
Was
Milwaukee
it
bullpen.
Ladd, and then he went to the Mets
No, right. No, and then in 86, they were Red Sox. Yeah. So, I guess guys like
Shortly
Henry
was a
Jackson
right-hander.
used to get in the
Caldwell
booth.
the
They
starter
knew they were
with 2
spot
series
hitters.
wins.
That's kind of
The Milwaukee bench, you just moved to second base again. They're closer.
Okay, so as you can see, as Harvey Keene brought in Moose Haas, Whitey Herzog countered with Steve Braun to hit for David Green, who was going to hit for Dane Orange. So we got a pitching change, a pinch hitter, and a pinch hitter for the pinch hitter.
On first base, left-hander up. The chances of Porter stealing are not very surprised that.
That's right.
Play a little bit behind him.
That's not allowed anymore, is it?
A little bit
I
more
don't
that
think
gap
so.
away.
Like today, if you put in a pinch hitter once he's announced,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you change the pitcher.
Whitey Herzog
Can you change?
told us, and you heard at the
You
start of
can, but you
our
lose that.
telecast, that
You lose the
he
original
would
pinch
bring
hitter.
in Bruce Sutter
Yeah, I know
no
that.
sooner than the 7th inning.
Yeah.
Well, the 7th inning is coming up.
Steve Braun had the
Activity in
I
the
don't
Cardinal
think
bullpen.
you really see it much anymore.
No, you
No, I mean, you got for that to happen, you have to hit around
Takes care
again
of Braun, the
Yeah.
inning
in the
over.
same inning.
Steve Braun had the bases loaded walk that proved to be the winning run in Game 2, as you saw earlier, a few innings after Daryl Porter drove in 2 to tie up the game.
The Cardinals 4, the Brewers 3, and we'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
Then we
About getting quite
After 6, the Cardinals 4
No, we were
runs and 12
talking
hits,
about
3 runs, 6 hits
when
for
you
Milwaukee.
mean- when
Whitey
you announce the
Herzog
pinch hitter.
as his ace.
yeah.
Bruce Sutter nearby. See him right there behind the skipper of the Cardinals. Sutter in the St. Louis dugout, undoubtedly keeping as warm as he can. Doesn't want to sit down on the bench in the right field corner.
Dick, Whitey Herzog, there's Ramsey, the third baseman, winning the pinch run. Whitey Herzog doesn't like to use
Who the
Sutter for
heck
3
is
complete
he?
innings. He said he's kept statistics.
Yeah, he came in after
Sutter can come in
to
and
pinch run
pitch
for
too
Gene
long.
Tennis after Tennis came in to
Do well. He usually finds
hit for
that
Ken
the
Oberkfell.
third inning is the one where they start catching up to Sutter. Sutter's had some knee problems, has not run all year. Injured his knee in the spring. He's not quite as durable this year as he has been in the past.
Series ring.
It shows the strikeout to inning pitch ratio, which has gone down this year, starting at the end of last year.
And Joe, Joaquin Andujar taking a few extra warm-up pitches before going to work here in the 7th inning.
Joaquin inning. Might add, the Cardinals are taking elaborate security precautions to ensure safety for all at tonight's game. And the official statement, our only objective is the safety of all concerned, said Cardinals General Manager Joe McDonald. We do not wish to dampen the enthusiasm of the fans, but everyone's safety comes first. And I'll tell you something, those little animals will make sure that your safety comes first if they're on your side.
And it certainly worked in Philadelphia. Gorman Thomas.
Now, just now, I don't know if you guys heard, but Tony Kubek made some pretty good points as to why Herzog doesn't insist on not having Bruce Sutter throw more than 2 innings, because by the 3rd inning, they'll have caught on to him.
Twice as many hits for St. Louis, 12-6, but only 1 more run. As the Cardinals
Yeah?
left 11 men on base in 6 innings.
Gorman
Milwaukee does
Thomas
too. You
has
might
appeared
recall
in
game 5 when the Cardinals took a hits on them where they stranded 12.
Oh, really?
Sutter, the big guy's going down.
You heard the crowd
He was
react
part
with
of 77, and then he was all those
Sutter.
baseball players who hit the home run and go on the bases.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, did he have a cut?
Onto our home run by Hogan, leading off the 5th, and then it was a relatively easy inning, a couple of ground outs, but he ran into a lot of trouble in the 6th inning.
Two-time All-Star performer with the Houston Astros against Gorman Thomas. Tied Reggie Jackson for the home run championship of the American League with 39 this year. 2-2.
2-ball, 1-strike breaking ball. It surprised Gorman Thomas. He was looking for smoke all the way.
Here's a man that has not lost in his last 12 starts, 8-0.
Hear that? He hadn't lost in his last 12 starts, Andujar. 8-0.
As he crossfired him with a breaking
Yes,
ball.
stuff.
Yeah.
That
Wait,
gets
did he
Roy
start this
Howell
game?
with Charlie Moore. in the
Yeah,
fourth.
Andujar started this game.
Oh, I guess I wasn't really paying attention.
Oh, no, he didn't go out yet.
Big pitch for Andujar, 3-2. Foul tip. Thomas just getting a piece of that breaking ball.
Andujar with a much quicker pace over the first 3 innings. And over the last couple, he has slowed down just a little bit. Showing his motion on the 3-2 pitch. 2-1, he went breaking ball. He went breaking ball 3-2. He wanted that pitch. It was fouled off. You can see the expression on his face. But he dropped that arm at his side. I don't think his arm was bothered, but he looked a little bit uncomfortable after he released that ball.
Gets it.
Corbin Thomas was so much like Dave Kingman and the sluggers we have today. A slugger that struck out constantly. He led the league in strikeouts 2 years in a row.
He came up with the fork ball. Maybe the first one he threw this ball game.
Roy Howell, the designated hitter, is 0 for 10 in this World Series. This redhead from California is due. Cardinals scored first in the fourth. Oakleby's homer tied it in the fifth. Sixth inning was the big inning as the Brewers got 2, but Cardinals came back to score 3. Fly to left field and hit well. Lonnie Smith makes the catch.
He took at least 1 different pass to that base.
Yeah, that was a very unbelievable play by Lonnie Smith. I mean, look at this.
Smith got turned around as the ball started circling back off the bat of the left-hander and with a little bit of the
You saw him run toward left center. Now he's got to go back and jump and reach for it. Backhanded. Look at that.
That's the only thing that counts, and that is catch the ball. He broke wrong, he turned wrong, he snapped.
If he doesn't catch that, that's a double for Roy Howell.
He couldn't have stretched any farther. And enough weather to take an extra base hit away from Howell. There's 2 out. Charlie Moore. Ball 1. Moore has grounded both times to second.
Now Bruce Sutter is running it up. He removed his jacket very quickly and he has begun to throw.
Here comes Bruce.
Yeah.
You go, son.
Yep.
1-1. Sutter just now throwing his second warm-up pitch.
And his prime,
He got that man figured out. And for some reason, the magic number 39 pitches keeps coming up with Herzog. He says, for some reason, around 39, I got to start watching him. He gets in the ball game. I don't know why that is.
Grounded toward the hole. That's going to be a base hit for Charlie Moore.
A lot of slow ground balls that became infield hits in this game. On this one, because Ramsey was on the line, he couldn't make the play at all. Otherwise, it could have been a routine ground ball.
Also standing right on the line, protecting against the double, conceding the single to his left. Another thing is they have so much confidence in Ozzie Smith's range. Look where Ramsey is.
Look at this.
Step up the line, in with a bag. Play that way a little bit more in any situation with Ozzie Smith out there. Look how far he went to spin that
He
ball.
was just hit.
Brings up Jim Gantner, the number 9 hitter for the Brewers. It was Gantner's double to right center leading off the 6th inning that got the Brewers going in a 2-run inning. Andujar. On the comebacker, the inning is over.
Keith was so
Gantner, Andujar, having words around the line. They both took it. They want to start a fight. Andujar's being held back by Lee Wire as Gantner challenged him, and they almost went to blows. Andujar threw his glove away. Lee Wire very alertly comes out and corrals Andujar to prevent a battle in game number 7. Gantner said something to him, Dick. He challenged him, probably called him a hot dog, very honestly, or worse. And Lee Wire, with a great job, stops a fist fight. There's Huck Kent. Here it is. I would bet that Gantner's words were,
If you could read lips, you know what Andujar said. That was rated X.
Shoot him down with the straighters and then blow the smoke away. Lanier there, but Lee Wire Miller.
Brewer player, too. Got beat.
So
Now we
the
have to
Brewers'
figure.
seventh inning comes to a
Suck it up,
fiery
Malcolm.
end. The Cardinals lead in the stretch half of the seventh by 1.
Andujar was nuts, man.
It's a little cuckoo.
Yeah.
All right, so where we headed? Son?
Okay, so now here's the thing that played a part in him being taken out. Whitey Herzog was probably gonna go to Bruce Sutter anyway for the 8th inning, but this heated exchange with Gantner made Herzog worried that Andujar wouldn't be able to think straight after that. So that made Herzog certain that bringing in Sutter for a 2-inning save was the best option.
I would agree.
Okay, now. So, now the Cardinals went down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 7th. We now go to the top of the 8th with Paul Molitor leading off.
Bruce Sutter will be facing Paul Molitor, Robin Yount, and Cecil Cooper. Top of the 8th inning, Cardinals 4, Milwaukee 3. Molitor bunts it foul. Strike one. Ramsey at third base is guarding the line. There you see him.
As Hernandez will be
There he is, the
diamond.
great Bruce
Take the
Sutter.
double away.
In the NLCS, he pitched 2 innings to win Game 2,
Bruce Sutter.
pitched 2 1/3 to save Game 3, despite giving up a 2-run homer to Cecil Cooper and almost to Gorman Thomas. In this series, he pitched
Listen to the crowd.
in the series, he pitched 2 1/3 to win Game 2. And hang on, I got this mixed up. I'm sorry. What I mentioned before, in the NLCS, he pitched 2 innings to win Game 2. Then he pitched 2 1/3 to save Game 3. In this series, he pitched 2 1/3 to win Game 2. He pitched 2 1/3 to save Game 3. And as I just mentioned earlier, he saved Game 3 despite giving up a home run to Cecil Cooper and almost to Gorman Thomas. He gave up 2 runs in the 8th inning in Game 5, and now here he is trying to get a 2-inning save to win the World Series.
How's he spin? 1 out. One man out. Robin Yount, the batter. Yount had a base hit in the 6th. He is 1 for 3 tonight.
Yount, a pretty good low ball hitter, as is Cooper, the man to follow. Get those arms out. Sutter, try and keep that split-fingered fastball low.
A strike on Robin Yount. A lot of room in right center field, and they're moving Willie McGee over now. He was way over in left center.
Yount hits a lot of balls to right center, even some down the line. We've seen that in this series. Left of center fielder Lonnie Smith and McGee playing very deeply. Try and protect the gap. They'll concede a little looping single. Line drive in front, but take away the double in the alley.
2 strikes to count. 53,723, and right now they're chanting Bruce, Bruce.
Yes, they are. It's Bruce Sutter for you. He wasn't used as much as Sug McGraw in 73 and 80, but you rarely see closers pitch 2 innings on a regular basis these days.
Nobody on top of the 8th. Cardinals 4, Milwaukee 3. 7th game of the World Series. The on-deck batter, Cecil Cooper.
Remember, Cooper homered off Sutter in Milwaukee.
That's right. That was one nasty splitter.
Was he?
Yeah.
They used to call that pitch the
Robin
Cucamonga.
Yount in his 9-year career. And look at what he goes after on Sutter. To show you how much watch that split-fingered fastball breaks. Or, as Mike Carson calls it, a one-finger screwball.
Here is Cecil Cooper. We've just got the official word as to what happened between Gentner and Andujar. And as Tony said and called it right on the nose, Gentner had called Andujar a hot dog, and that started it. Bouncing ball. 3 outs.
Closer. So what skin-thin players that make that play?
Bottom of the 8th inning. Lonnie Smith
Yeah.
leading off. And should this score remain the same, tonight's
He
NBC
was.
High Life Outstanding Player of the Game is being
You remember what he did in the '85 World Series?
check for $1,000.
I could
in
bet you
the name of
$1,000
Hernandez in the
that's not
Special
what he said.
Olympics. That is for tonight's game.
You don't
Now, there's
think-
a World Series most valuable player that has to be chosen, and we are debating that right now. Lonnie Smith, right field. Charlie Moore near the line. He cannot get it. Two-base hit. It bounced out of the ballpark.
A bad break for Lonnie Smith and the Cardinals. That ball bounced over the fence. Lonnie could have ended up having a triple, and he would have ended up on third. Yeah, he did.
Joe and Lonnie Smith running, that had a possibility of being a triple. That ball on the wall. Ramsey right now.
Well, they're just trying to set up for the bunt, probably. Ramsey. Simmons talking to his pitcher. He knows Ramsey. They have to get him over to third base to try to pick it up with the sacrifice fly. This crowd is really reacting. Bottom of the 8th. Nobody out. Lonnie Smith at second. There you see the defense. Bunted. Wow. Strike one.
And Joe, too often during the 162-game schedule, as Lonnie Smith goes back to second, the utility man like Ramsey is overlooked. He filled in for Oberkfell when he was hurt, did a good job, got some key hits. Kerr, and late in the season when Ozzie Smith missed a lot of ball games, he was in there at times. Very valuable over the long haul, Ramsey.
Cooper is really in close at first base, as is Molitor at third. Strike two, foul tip. 2 strikes, and now he takes a look at Hiller. Nobody out. Smith on at second, bottom of the 8th. As we look to the 9th inning for Milwaukee, it'll be Simmons, Ogilvy, and Thomas. All 3 capable of the home run against Bruce Sutter.
So he bunted on the first 2 pitches, and now a check swing foul.
He came on as a pinch runner when Team Tennis
The 2 strikes on?
base on ball.
Yeah, he's got 2 strikes.
Bruce Haas put it to very big strike right there.
Look at that.
Up in the strike zone.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Harry Warner trying to get Ogilvy in left field to move in closer. With Smith at second base. Bunts it foul on a third strike.
That was
and
not a
a
good
strikeout.
play.
Ramsey out on strikes. And it brings up Keith Hernandez.
I mean, you bunt foul on the first 2, then you do a check swing, then you take a ball. Now you're bunting with 2 strikes. What the hell are you thinking?
Myself, he's out. Gonna give him a
Not
walk.
a good plan.
The See Harvey Keene motioning 4 fingers to put him on to set up the
They're
double
major
play.
league ball players.
George Hendrick is the on-deck batter, and Hernandez
That's my
will draw the intentional walk.
You gotta walk Keith because you can't afford him to burn you again.
He's too dang good.
Yeah.
He's getting closer to the plate.
Did you see him move up?
Regular season, as you talked about that. He usually put that
Keith,
bat nice
as the pitcher was throwing the intentional walk pitch, he was moving up.
Up on the plate. He usually puts it straight down and it's very nonchalantly in the batter's box. Not game 7, though.
So Hernandez is on, and here is George Hendrick.
As far as he hit the ball, he's hitting.
And he did a great piece of hitting the last time up. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and drilled the ball in the hole between second and first.
1 man out. Lonnie Smith is on at second base. Hernandez is on at first. 4-3. We're in the bottom of the 8th. St. Louis leading. Haas misses. Vukovic started. Fleur. Now moves Haas. High fly ball. Short center field. Gorman Thomas waiting for it. Makes the play. So there are 2 outs.
Yeah, Lonnie Smith
Wait,
had an
Gorman
idea.
was-
Last Robert Young was
Gorman Thomas was the center fielder?
Lonnie had an idea.
Yeah.
He was trying to steal third.
Here comes Harvey Keene out of the Milwaukee dugout.
He's got Porter, left-hander, coming up, and then Braun in the DH slot, another left-hander.
And there's Caldwell. He's been loosening up.
Along with Ladd, right-hander.
Harvey Keene looks like he's going to make a pitching change here.
He's made more pitching changes in game number 7 of this World Series than he really has made most of the year. Or the previous 6 games of this series, anyway. One of the things he said when he took over, I don't like to make that long trip to the mound.
He was going to make a, I thought he was going to make a change. Yeah, he started off. He's made more than
There's the indication. So we've got a break in the action here. 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th, 4-3. The Cardinals leading. We'll be back after these messages. Here comes Caldwell.
We were looking for more.
Okay, so now Harvey Keene has gone to Mike Caldwell to pitch to Daryl Porter, lefty-lefty.
Base runners are at first and second. Lonnie Smith at second.
As you can see right there, he's already beaten the Cardinals twice in this
He's already
series.
won 2 games, and it sure reminds me of Harry Brecheen in the 46 World Series. Murray Dixon had done a tremendous job, and Brecheen came on in relief and won it in 46. And of course, there's the
I don't think any pitcher will win 3 games in a World Series ever again.
67 and
This
Mickey
is too
Lois in
funny.
68.
It is 1982.
So Mike Caldwell is on the mound for the Brewers.
the game
And
from
keep in mind, in that 9th
1946.
inning, Simmons, Ogilvy, and Thomas. Here is Daryl Porter against Mike
Like, think
Caldwell.
about it. Like, say, you think someone would say, oh, back in 1982.
It's 50 years ago.
They have really swung around for Porter in the outfield. The center fielder, Gorman Thomas. Look at your picture where Gorman Thomas is. Look at the room in center field. That's a great shot.
So they're playing him to
Almost
pull.
ground a single up the middle that would roll all the way to the center field fence.
Oh no, I was just gonna ask.
Robin Young was out of position as the pitch was delivered. Caldwell got it inside to Porter. Well, I got a chance here. Maybe it is self-serving, but we've had some great pictures. And Michael White.
Did I hear Dad earlier say he was going to play dominoes?
All the camera crew.
That's where he
Great
was gonna
job,
play.
guys.
Okay.
Hey, is Daryl Porter or Hall of Fame?
No.
I don't
Line
think
drive, right field, base hit. Here comes Smith. The throw to the plate. It is not in time.
the
But he was a freaking MVP in this series, bro.
Yeah, he was the NLCS MVP and the World Series MVP.
I guess Christian Scott threw well today, huh?
Yeah, they won 6-2.
So it's a 5-3 ball game, and here's Steve Braun. 2 men out. Hernandez is on at third. Porter's on at first. Strike one. Darryl
What's
Porter,
the
a
score
big
now?
base hit.
5-3.
One strike on Steve Braun. A foul ball, strike two. Tony Kubek has made his way to the clubhouse. And at this point, he doesn't know.
You don't understand what, Mom?
But
No,
it is such a mad rush to get down there after
Oh.
the game that Tony has gone down.
You know, why can't these guys throw more than 5 innings? Or at least 5?
Two-strike pitch.
I know.
Line drive, center field, base hit. Hernandez scores 6-3.
So, Darryl Porter and Steve Braun came through in Game 2. They do it again here in Game 7.
You see, Roman Thomas' reaction as he delivered that, he was just kind of shrugged his shoulders. Gave up.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know. I really think he could do this.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But then again,
They're
everybody
beginning
was
to
screaming
celebrate,
about
Joe, and they're
managers.
trying to make it easy for Bruce Sutter. 6-3 to score. The Cardinals leading Milwaukee. Here's Willie McGee. There are 2 outs. Porter's at second. Braun
He's
is
an
at first.
integral part of 2 World Series
Yeah.
wins.
Bouncing ball to Gantner. Should end the inning. It does. So the Cardinals scored 2.
I think
And
he
as we
just got-
complete 8 innings to score here,
He just
St.
made it
Louis
into the
6,
Magnum
Milwaukee
Hall
3. And the
Oh,
important
jeez.
part
Don't
of
mention
Milwaukee
that. Not on here, Uncle Greg.
As they face Bruce Sutter, it's Ted Simmons, Ted Oakley, and Gorman Thomas.
Oh my God.
Okay.
You know, whenever I could, I would grab his number, either him or number 8 when I played softball.
Oh, boy. Number 8 as in Gary Carter, number 8?
Yep, I loved Gary and I was a catcher.
That's right. Didn't you say you became
Well,
a
I think
catcher
she meant
because...
number 8.
8 for
Sorry,
Yogi?
No, number 8 for Fast and Furious 8.
Oh, jeez.
No, you wouldn't call me fast in any time zone or hemisphere.
Yeah, but you were furious.
I was furious. I was a damn good catcher.
Yeah. Didn't you say you became a catcher because of Thurman Munson?
Oh, I loved him too at one time.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to wear his number though.
Yeah. So, even though 3 runs is more than enough for Bruce Sutter, he's still facing 3 home run hitters in this inning.
You never know.
Yeah. Whoops, hang on.
Baseball's a funny game.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah.
1-1 to count. 53,723. And they've all turned umpire rooters.
Hey, Alex, you work at 8 tomorrow, right, buddy?
That's right.
Okay. Ed Simmons.
Yep.
Was this after he was a Cardinal?
I believe so, yes.
He was kind of built, wasn't as big up top as Greg Luzinski, but Ted Simmons always reminded me of that stature with a very long torso
Yeah.
and the short, fat legs.
Oh, jeez.
Like the Lollipop Guild.
Oh, jeez. Really, Mom?
I'm joking, brother.
I know, Mom.
What's the MSL?
Never mind that. That's why I switched it to a different video.
Fielding his position. That went almost out of his reach. It would have been playable by Murr.
What do you
Makes
mean,
sure of
never
the
mind
out.
that?
He's retired 4 in a row.
He was going to give Hernandez room service. Here.
Alex, you
Here's
okay?
Ogilvy.
What?
And home run in the fifth.
You all right?
Yeah. I'm okay.
Who's up?
I'm okay.
Who's up now?
Oh, Ben Ogilvy.
Another skinny guy.
Yeah. Like I said, he's facing home run hitters.
1 strike. 1 out. Nobody on.
See, 1982, I
Channing Suter. One ball and 1 strike. 1 out.
It kind of looks like a grip.
Brewers who have battled
Yeah.
all year.
But he ain't a grip.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Strikes. Their owner calls every Brewer game a stress test. 2 outs in the way.
Bruce Sutter is in the Hall of Fame, yes.
As a Cardinal,
Could be second out.
Oh, I have to double check.
curious. I'm thinking as a Cardinal.
Yes.
Coming in as a Cardinal.
Yep.
Probably because that's supposed to get what you put.
I guess so.
Norman Thomas, the fans will tell you.
Yeah. I'm gonna do Jack Buck's call, okay?
We are. I'm very excited to hear it.
This turns out to be quite a battle between Bruce Sutter and Gorman Thomas.
1 ball, 1 strike to count.
So
6-3
I
to
say
score.
about it.
2 outs in the 9th. Two balls and a strike.
What's the situation, Randy?
It's 6-3, 2 outs. Gorman Thomas is at the plate.
Foul ball.
Gorman Thomas is the Brewers' last hope.
Top of the 9th. St. Louis 6, Milwaukee 3. 7th game of the World Series.
There's nothing better than a deciding game like in the baseball World Series Game 7, the NBA Game 7, NHL Game 7. There's nothing better.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
2 strikes, 2 outs. Three and two. Warman Thomas against Bruce Sutter.
Bruce.
Foul ball. And the drama continues. Gantner. Suter.
A swing and a miss, and that's a winner! That's a winner! A World Series winner for the Cardinals! Their first championship since '67. Yeah, with Bob Gibson.
It's the Tigers.
No, they lost to the Tigers in '68. They beat the Red Sox in '67. That's right.
Cardinals will beat the Milwaukee Brewers by the score of 6-3 here in the 7th game. Ozzie Smith, Mike Ramsey, Gene Gieselman.
Let's drink, boys.
Yeah.
Well, son, that was very nice.
Yeah.
And so these Cardinal fans, with their rich baseball tradition, they've won more World Series than any National League team. This makes it 9. And now they're celebrating.
Look at Gene. What was he laughing at?
Butch Yatkaman, who will retire after this season.
Not sure.
You just saw him being lifted. There you see Butch with Keith Hernandez and Tony Kubek in the Cardinal clubhouse. Joe McDonald, the general manager, just being hugged by Hernandez. The Cardinals, the world champions. There you see Gussie Busch, the owner, Bowie Kuhn with the winner's trophy in the Cardinal clubhouse along with Bob Costas.
Yeah.
And here on the field, it is just bedlam. Notwithstanding the canine corps, the mounted police, these Cardinal fans have just simply joined in the celebration. And Darrell Porter has been voted the most valuable player in this World Series. We'll be back with the clubhouse celebration and interviews right after these messages.
That was great, son.
Yeah. Well, the Cardinals would reach the World Series twice more in the 80s, only to lose in 7 games both times. To the Royals in 85 and to the Twins in 87. In fact, they wouldn't win the World Series again until 2006. As for the Brewers, this is as close as they've ever come to a World Championship, and they've come no closer.
Wow.
Well, that about wraps it up. I just want to thank my Uncle Greg, my mom Lisa, and my dad Ed for taking your time to watch this amazing game with me. And you can check out my full podcasts on YouTube and Facebook. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you next time on the Alex Estrada podcast. Adios, everyone.